All right, we're back here on Out of the Park Baseball 18, episode number 9. I think it is, I'm pretty sure it's 9 of our Marlins franchise. We are here. It is Monday, October 8th, 2018. So, in the last episode, you remember that we finished up the season and we showed improvement, right? So, if we go to history and index, you see we finished 64 and 98, which was a whole one win better than our previous year. But, in all fairness, just talking seriously, it was a rough finish to the year, which kind of sucked. We were on pace to finish with, probably around 70-ish wins, which would have been nice. But, regardless, we are building up the farm system. Some of our young players are playing well. I'll get to that in a bit. So at this point in a rebuild, that's really all you can ask for. But in this episode, we're going to tackle the offseason, and I remember that in the first offseason, I never did the Arizona Fall League, so I'm going to do that in this episode. That way you guys can take a look at how that works in this game. But to start off, let's just take a look at how the team did, the overall statistics. So Rowdy Tellez had a solid start to his Marlins career. He had 253 with a 346 OBP and OPS of 846, just one of two players on our team that OPS over 800. He had 42 home runs, so he definitely filled the power void that Stanton left this team. 101 RBIs. He struck out 168 times. He walked 83. His BABIP was 277. He was close to a 3-win player. An OPS plus of 124. So a very solid debut season here in Miami for Mr. Tellez. And I'm really excited to see how he builds upon that next year. Of course, he's only 23 years old. So I'm excited to see how he expands upon this season and next year. Robert Refsnyder, remember we claimed him on waivers from the Chicago White Sox. He did really well for us. You see, with the White Sox, he did not do very well in 51 games, 43 starts. He only hit 225. He slashed 225, 311, 412. But with us, he really picked it up. He started 83 games, appeared in 85. He slashed 315, 377, 476. He had 9 home runs, 47 RBIs. So combined, he finished the season with a 286 average and 16 home runs. So this guy's not going to be making a lot of money, and he's solid defensively. He won't kill us, so I'm definitely going to keep this guy. And I imagine he's probably going to start at second base again, which at least to start next year, which I would not be opposed to. JT Riddle, this is one of the guys down in our minor league system. He was playing just too well to keep him down there, so we decided to call him up. And he had a solid debut season, his first taste of major league action. He played in 72 games. He slashed 281, 318, 390 with an OPS just over 700. He had 5 homers, 33 RBIs. He stole a base, so a solid debut start for Mr. Riddle. We'll have to see if he can stay in the lineup next year. Leury Garcia, this was the guy that we signed as a free agent, mainly for his defense, but offensively, he wasn't that bad. He hit 273, 323, 361. He OPS'd just a tick under 700. Now, I'm interested to see what his BABIP was, and it was 355 yet. So that's not too surprising. Obviously, if you take a look at his ratings, he's not really known for his offense, and that 355 BABIP, that would indicate that he got a little lucky. So I doubt he would be able to do this again next year. But regardless, he gave a solid production at third base and eventually shortstop while he was there. So if nothing else, at least he did that for us. Micah Johnson, he was the guy that we picked up in that trade with Atlanta in the last offseason. He had 250, 310, 361. He had just under 10 home runs, 63 RBIs. He stole 20 bases, though, and it looks to be third on the team. So Ben Revere, who I completely skipped over, I didn't even realize that. Ben Revere had 30 stolen bases. He was caught 11 times. Garcia stole 25 bases, but he was caught 24 times. That is awful. Leonis Martino I skipped over. He had 14 stolen bases, and then Matt Dendecker, the last of the guys on this team who had double digits, he had 10 stolen bases. He was caught once. So aside from Garcia, it looks like we had some success on the base paths, which is always good. But Revere, obviously he's not a power guy, right? But he did hit 4 home runs, which is actually kind of surprising. He had 11 triples, and now looking at this, Micah Johnson had 10 triples. He struck out just 42 times. He walked 29. He hit over 300, 321, albeit with a 356 OBP. He was third on the team in OPS, surprisingly. And of course, with those 30 stolen bases. So it looks like he was one of our best players on the team. He started 132 games, appeared in 149. And Martin, he hit 247, 317, 385. He was close to a 2-win player. He stole his 14 bases. He was, it looks like, second on the team in home runs with 19. So the power wasn't really there. We had one guy hit over 40, and then nobody else hit over 20. Martin was the closest with 19, and Refsnyder with 16, and no one else hit over 10. So that's, we definitely have to get a little more power in the lineup, but hopefully some of our prospects can supply that. And look at the rest of the team. Desmond Jennings, he was injured for most of the season, so he never really contributed. Den Decker, he was on the team more for his defense than anything else, and his speed. Obviously, I mean, he stole 10 bases in limited playing time. Amarista, he was more on the team once again for his asset as being a utility player. You know, he can play 6 different positions, which is why he was on the team. I wasn't really too concerned with his offense. Ionetta and Maldonado, not too surprising. They didn't do well. You know, they're not good offensively. The only reason I had Maldonado start as much as he did was because of his defense rating. And, you know, if nothing else, at least, although it looks like he probably wasn't that good defensively either because he finished as a negative win player. I'd like to see his fielding stats. So he had 4 errors. His zone rating, yeah, I don't know if that WAR is just because he was like so terrible offensively. But regardless, I would not be against bringing him back. If nothing else, just as a backup. But that's how the offense did. Now looking at our pitching staff, we'll sort by ERA. Keep it actually innings pitched. Let's start the starters first. So Drew Smyly, he pitched the most innings on the staff at just over 174. He pitched to a 4.18 ERA. Now looking at my starting rotation, that appears to be the best of all of these starters. He went 10-13, obviously record. I've said it multiple times. That's not really the best way to evaluate how a pitcher did, but you know, just looking at it, he did go 10-13. He let up how many home runs? So he let up, where's home runs? Oh, there it is. So, wow, 28 home runs Smiley let up. Wow. He had 136 strikeouts, 54 walks, pitched to a BAP of .287, a 1.33 whip. He had an ERA plus of 102. He was striking out 7 batters per 9 innings. So that is that. His K to walk, though, was 2.5, and his walks per 9 innings. He was walking close to 3 batters per 9 innings. So that's a little rough. Zach Wheeler, the guy we acquired from the Mets last year, he pitched 162 2/3 innings. He went 8-11, although he did start 30 games, which is good. You know, I said before the season started, I just wanted to see this guy stay healthy, and for the most part, he did. So he started 30 games, which was good. He pitched to a 4.32 ERA. Batters hit 270 off him, a 1.48 whip. He was striking out 7.6 batters per 9 innings, walking close to 4, though he really needs to get that down. His FIP was 4.59. Smiles was 4.8, so that's a little worrisome. Stephen Fief, we had to call him up because of injuries, and he did not do very well. He had an ERA close to 6. Caleb Dirks now getting into some of our relievers. He did pretty good. So this was his first taste of Major League action, and I think, you know, given the circumstances, he didn't do all that bad. He actually did pretty good. You see, he's considered one of the team leaders and puts in long hours. He's well respected by his teammates. We also got him in that trade with the Land, the same trade that we got Micah Johnson in. So he didn't do too bad. Moving back to the starters, Tyler Beede pitched. He had an ERA over 6, and his FIP was over 6 as well. So we gave this guy a chance because he wanted to be in the majors, and we gave him a chance. And it's safe to say he did not do very well. He showed some flashes, but this guy is definitely not the future of our rotation. Maybe in the bullpen at some point, but definitely not a part of the rotation. Nick Whitgren, this was his second year in the majors. He did a little worse than he did last year, which is understandable, but still not too bad. It could be a lot worse. David Phelps, when he wasn't hurt, he wasn't terrible. You'd like to see him do a little better, but you know, he wasn't god awful. Brad Ziegler, he pitched to a 4.54 ERA. His time is pretty much coming to an end. You see, he signed through 2018. We're not going to re-sign him. See, his ratings have definitely decreased since we first got him. So we're definitely not going to re-sign this guy. I don't even know how much he would want, but you see, he made $9 million this year. He definitely did not earn that $9 million. Troy Leesman, another guy we put into the rotation because of injuries, and he was awful. He had an ERA over 6, although his FIP was 4.73. So, you know, perhaps he got a little unlucky, but regardless, this guy also not part of our rotation. He's 31 years of age, too, so that's that. Justin Nicolino, not too bad. You recall last year he had a rough go of it in the majors, a 6.35 ERA. He was striking out 3.6 batters. He walked 1.6. He allowed 3 home runs, but this year he did a little better, and I think maybe because he's better suited for a bullpen role. Now, I don't know if I'm going to keep him in the bullpen because he doesn't really have like a plus pitch, it would seem. You see, they're all you know, pretty average at best. But regardless, he did well in the bullpen. He started 1 game for us, but overall, out of the bullpen, he didn't do too bad, Mr. Big Bird. And he's not making a lot of money either, which is good. So maybe we will bring him back. Tazawa, let's see how he did. So he regressed from from last year, and we have him through 2018, so he's gone after this year. We might bring him back, though, because he has solid ratings. Cuniff was this... So he pitched in 2016 for the Braves in 15 games. This was like his first like real taste of the majors because he pitched in 50 games for us. And he had an opposing BABIP of 3.45, which is a little odd. Well, not odd, but that's a little worrisome. He was walking 5 batters per 9 innings, and my dog's barking, so I'm going to go see what she's barking. All right, I am back. So we left off at Cuniff. Despain, he came into our rotation towards the end of the year, and he had an ERA close to 9. So, wow, this rotation was awful. He had a WHIP of 2.32. That is insane. He did have a FIP, though, of 7.63, so, there's that. Steckenrider, he was not really ready for the majors this year. Maybe we brought him up a little too early, but he was not ready for the majors this year. Justin Grimm, I believe, we claimed him on waivers from the Cubs on July 13th of this year, and he did better with the Cubs than he did with us, but it would seem, just looking at it, he did strike, So he was pretty, mediocre with both teams, just looking at his ratings. Nick Birdie, let's see, how did he do? Not too well in his first taste of Major League action. Dylan Peters, he didn't do too bad, I suppose. It looks like. Yeah, he didn't do all that bad in his 10 relief appearances. Cervenka did about the same as he did. Well, actually, no, he did. Let me see. What was his BABIP last year that he faced? So a 3.26 last year with a 4.82 ERA. So the BABIP lowered, so he did a little better, it would seem, than he did last year, and that is that. So having said that, it's... Obviously, injuries were a big problem with the team this year, as I said multiple times. You saw Kazmir. He's still out. Fetty, he only appeared in, 25 games, so he didn't really get a full season in. Smith, we never got to see him because of that post-concussion syndrome. And, of course, Phelps. So, I don't know what I'm going to do in this offseason. Now I'm looking over here at our top prospects, so it looks like they're doing good, at least. Reed Foley, he's in AAA now, that's right. So, in AA, he was doing all right, and... So we called him up to AAA, and he didn't do too bad. So it seems like he's developing nicely. To call him a perfectionist is an understatement, so that's always good. Vlad Guerrero Jr. had a solid season there in High A, so that's good to see. I'm happy to see that he's progressing. We really need him to progress. Now it seems like our head scout doesn't really like him, but OSA likes him. So hopefully he kind of develops as to like what the OSA ratings say he will, because it seems like Theo Epstein doesn't really like him all that much, but. Regardless, there's Reese McGuire, too. It seems like he's not doing all that bad in AA. Yeah, he was killing it in AA at Jacksonville, so we called him up to New Orleans, and he didn't do all that bad. I might keep him at AA just for a little bit next year, but, who knows? Maybe he'll just be like our budget catcher next year, because it seems like he's about ready, at least looking at his ratings. So we'll take a look, but now I'm just going to simulate up past the playoffs, and just I'll come back. When the playoffs are over, we can kind of recap it, and then we will start the offseason. All right, now before I go through the rest of the playoffs, I figured I'd want to start up the Arizona Fall League right now because it normally starts around this time. I was looking at the schedule. It normally starts like around this time of the year, like that second or maybe like the second-ish week of October. So we're going to start it up now. So in case you're not too familiar with how to set this up, I'm going to show you. So all you have to do is go to Game Settings, and then here where it says Available Global Actions, just click Add a New Tournament to this game. This is also how you can like start up like your own tournaments or leagues or whatever, but right now we're just going to actually select this, or select a real-world Winter League configuration. We're going to click Arizona Fall League, so you see it has 2 divisions, 6 teams total. You see Arizona Fall League AFL. And now if we go to the next step, you can actually set up like the options. So you can see the tournament frequency. You can set the max player talent level, which is right now AAA. You can set the minimum player talent level, which is at AA. You see base above levels on player level league. The max Major League Service year is 1 year. Roster selection date 2 months before the tournament. And that is that. So now all you have to do is click. And that's actually pretty cool. So teams will offer human GMs jobs. That's actually pretty neat. So go to next step. And it's now ready to be added to your existing baseball universe. So click finish. And then after it's created, all you have to do is, you see up here where it says MLB, all you have to do is click that, and then click this little drop-down menu, and Arizona Fall League is right there. It has the abbreviation WL, And now you can go to the league home screen, and all the rosters are set. So let's just pick up, let's just select the Glendale Desert Dogs, right? You see everything is already set up. So if you go to pitching, all these guys are already selected. If you go to lineups, all of the guys are already selected. All the lineups are all set to go. And these guys are, you'll see top prospects in here, obviously. So that's how it's set up. So we can also take a look at the Arizona Fall League while we do. And you see the schedules are all set to go. Upcoming schedules, you see everything's all set up, which is actually really neat. I'm really glad they added this in this year. It's a really neat addition. I'm glad they did it. So having said that, we are going to go back to Major League Baseball just for right now and go to playoff coverage. We'll take a look at the Arizona Fall League a little bit more towards the end of the playoffs because it'll still be going on. But we're just going to simulate here past the playoffs, and we'll take a look here and see what happens. So there's one more series that needs to be done, and it's that Reds-Dodgers series, and that is finally done. So just recapping, in the wildcard series, the Cubs were upset, I suppose. I'm not really upset because they were away by the Arizona Diamondbacks in the wildcard game. The Blue Jays defeated the Texas Rangers. And in the divisional series, the Astros beat the Blue Jays 3-1. The Red Sox defeated the Indians 3-1. The Nationals defeated the Diamondbacks 3-1. So both wildcard teams lost, and the Reds lost to the Dodgers 3-2, the only series that went 5 games. So in your league championship series, you have the Astros and the Red Sox, and the Nationals and the Dodgers. So now, moving on along here, we'll see who wins. So the Dodgers took the early 1-0 lead. Now they're up 2-0. But we'll see. Obviously, Washington, they are a talented team. They won our division, the NL East, this year, 95-67. I just realized they were the only team in the NL East to finish above 500. We had 3 teams finish 80-82. And of course, we finished 64-98. So the NL East was not very good this year. And speaking of that, the Nationals were just swept by the Los Angeles Dodgers, which is a little surprising. Obviously, the Nationals are a talented team, but now we'll see who the Dodgers are going to play in the World Series. The Astros currently up 2-1, although Boston just evened it up. Now Game 5 is going to be in Boston. So Houston has that home field advantage. Price not doing too well in the playoffs. It would seem an ERA over 14. And let's see, can the Astros capitalize? And whoops. Right fielder discovered by Scout Theo Epstein in the Dominican Republic. Wow, so look at this. So Theo Epstein just discovered this potentially really good prospect out of the Dominican Republic, 16 years of age. Wow. Could you imagine if this guy developed the way that oh, wow, that would be perfect. This is the guy we need. So we'll have to keep an eye on, what's his name? His name is Rogelio Chantaka. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this guy over the next several years because he's only 16, so he's not going to be ready for a while. But we're going to have to keep an eye on this guy to see if he develops, which, man, that would be perfect. That's exactly what we need on this team. And let's see if Ohtani got posted this year. And he did not, because Ohtani did not get posted last year, and it looks like he didn't get posted this year either. I want to see if there's anyone worth taking a look at. It seems like, okay, so that second baseman, not that I'm going to try to sign any of these guys, but just trying to find the best guys. So the second baseman seems to be the best one we've seen so far. Actually, the starting pitcher. Yeah, this starting pitcher seems to be the best one now. He's a fly ball pitcher, but he has 5+ pitches. The control's a little bit of an issue, but wow. No one is exempt from his charm. So that guy, we're going to have to see how he does in the major leagues. What's his name? Shintaro Fujinami. Let's see. Anybody else here? Now, so it's really just Shintaro and the second baseman, Hideto, and just to see how they're doing. Actually, I'm kind of interested to see how Ohtani's doing, so I want to search for Ohtani. And Shohei Ohtani. Yes, he's still on the fighters, and wow, yeah, he's definitely developed. Had a solid year this year, solid year last year. Now I kind of want to see how he did batting-wise. So in 2016, he did 322. So 2017, so they're not really having him hit all that much, which isn't too surprising. Taking a look at his ratings, yeah, this is definitely. I wish I could sign him, but I know I'm not gonna have the budget for it when he eventually gets posted. But wow, that is crazy. He's in my Phillies franchise that I'm not doing. I'm definitely gonna try to get this guy to see how he's gonna do in the majors. But wow, and that reminds me the guy that was signed by the Nationals. That I think he was the Korean guy, the Korean relief pitcher. What was his name? Yeah, he's saying Bang. Yeah, the Korean. So let's see how he did. So he went 8-6, 13 saves. He pitched to a 2.42 ERA, a 1.04 WHIP. He was striking out close to 13 batters per 9 innings, 182 Ks, 51 walks. He let up 16 home runs. But so that was so this a solid first year for Mr. Bong for sure. So we'll have to, and he's going to be in our division for at least the next several years. You see, he's signed through 2020, but that's arbitration. So he's signed for a while, so we'll have to see if he continues to do as well. If he regresses, we'll have to keep an eye on that. But going back to playoff coverage here, we're going to see if the Astros can defeat the Red Sox here and advance to the World Series. And yes, they do. And I'm going to just put these guys on the roster because you're not allowed to have guys on the DL in the offseason, so I'll just take care of that now. So your World Series, the Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers. So this should be a good one. I'd like to see Houston win, obviously. And for those of you that follow my Angels franchise last year, you'll know that having to compete with Houston year after year after year starts to become a little bit of a pain because they just become so good. Like, look at this year. They finished 112-50, and now they are in the World Series over the Dodgers, a quick 2-0 lead. It seems like the Dodgers offensively were not all that good, but pitching-wise, they had the best staff. Just looking strictly at like runs against and runs scored. And the Dodgers have a 3-0 lead, so I don't think the Astros are going to win this year. Unfortunately, no. So the Dodgers swept the NLCS, and they sweep the World Series. And Casimir suffers setbacks. So sweet sweep for the Los Angeles Dodgers. So this is the 7th time the Dodgers have been the league champions. Powerful Dodgers chalked up a 93-69 mark and finished first place in the NL West. So your Dodgers are your World Series champions here in the 2018 season. So now let's go back to the Arizona Fall League, see how things are going. If you take a look at the league home screen, and then take a look at the standings. So your Mesa Solar Sox are 11-3. The Scottsdale Scorpions are 9-5. The Salt River Rafters are 2-12. And in the Western Division, it's a little more closer. Glendale Desert Dogs, they are 8-6, and then both the Peoria Javelinas and Surprise Saguaros, I know I just messed up those pronunciations, they are 6-8 both, so they're only 2 games back of Glendale. All right, so we're here. It is Tuesday, November 20th. Our contract got extended. I guess I forgot that it was only a 2-year contract, I guess. So we got extended for 2 more years and a value of $800,000 per year. Just taking a look at the review season goals. I've been taking a lot of heat from the fans and media for the way we finished the season. Yeah, nope. I'm sure you have. I know it's hard to point to one problem to explain why the season went south, but we need to make some upgrades, no more excuses. Upgrade a position. I thought I told you to find an upgrade for Miguel Rojas. I know he's been in our team for 4 years, but sometimes you have to move on and upgrade. I know, my man, trust me. Maybe you missed my email about improving our pathetic OBP. No, I didn't. Or did you not understand what I was asking of you? All right, a little rude there. At least I hope this lack of effort was a mistake and not you ignoring what I asked of you. Maybe a little bit of that. So he wants us to make the playoffs pretty soon. So next year he wants us to play close to 500 ball, upgrade at third base, improve our runs against, and keep building the team to reach the playoffs in the next 4 seasons. So new budget, we will have $94 million. That's more than last year. Team payroll of around $75 million. Is that more than last year? Because our team payroll last year was, like $80 million? Or is that just like our total budget? I don't know. Let me review my financials here. So is that like more or less than last year? All right, regardless, we have $43 million for free agents, so at least that's good. Now, we're not going to sign like any big-ticket free agents, but that is that. So we are losing our bench coach, our pitching coach, and our hitting coach. We're going to have to try to find new guys for that. So there's a new owner for the Indians. That's Mike Doherty. A new owner for the Braves. The White Sox GM got fired. And that was all that happened. So let's take a look here at the leaders, or not the leaders, the award winners. So with the AL, Matt Cain, Christian Vasquez, Miguel Cabrera, Ian Kinsler, Jose Ramirez, Francisco Lindor, Alex Gordon, Kevin Pillar, Max Kepler won Gold Gloves. And in the NL, I don't think we had anybody. No, we didn't. Chase Anderson, Yasmani Grandal, Paul Goldschmidt, Gene Segura, Anthony Rendon, Dansby Swanson, David Dahl, Manuel Margot, and Jason Hayward. And Quintana finally got traded, it seems like. Yeah, so Chicago traded Quintana and Jumbo Diaz to the Diamondbacks for 30-year-old center fielder A.J. Pollock. Wow, okay, that's interesting. Top reliever in the AL was Ken Giles, followed by Damian Magnifico and Trevor Rosenthal, who's now on the Red Sox. And in the NL, Carter Capps of the Padres won it, followed by Bang, that Korean guy that the Nationals signed, and Grant Dayton of the Dodgers. Silver Sluggers in the AL, Gary Sanchez, A.J. Reed, Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa. Look at that. Every infielder on the Astros, with the exception, they all won Silver Sluggers. Reed, Altuve, Bregman, Correa. That's why it was such a pain to have to play as the Angels, because come on, you're not going to beat that, really? And then you also have Mazzara on the Rangers. You have Trout on the Angels. It's ridiculous. But our good friend Christian Yelich won a Silver Slugger, so that's good for him. Nice to see him doing well. And in the NL, I was going to say, I didn't think we won any of these either. Zach Greinke had 4 home runs as a pitcher, it would seem. Matt Wieters, Josh Bell, Jonathan Villar, Carlos Santana, Corey Seager, Ryan Braun, Odubel Herrera won a Silver Slugger. That's nice to see. And Bryce Harper. Best rookie in the AL was Ryan O'Hearn of the Royals, followed by Rafael Devers of the Red Sox and Max Schrock of the Oakland Athletics. And in the NL, it was Kevin Newman. Rowdy Tellez finished second, and Joe Ryan of the Braves finished third. Best manager in the AL was A.J. Hinch. In the NL, it was Dave Roberts of the Dodgers. Cy Young in the AL was Carlos Carrasco, followed by Dallas Keuchel and Marcus Stroman. And in the NL, it was Clayton Kershaw, followed by Noah Syndergaard and Kyle Hendricks. No big surprises there. And the MVP in the AL, Alex Bregman, followed by Carlos Correa and Francisco Lindor. So Trout didn't even finish in the top 3. In the NL, Clayton Kershaw wins another MVP. I believe this is the second consecutive year he's won this in this OOTP save, followed by Bryce Harper, and Jake Lamb finished third in MVP voting. Wow, okay. That's a little surprising, but there you go. There are your award winners. So let's just go to salary arbitration real quick. So not a lot of salary guys here. Arbitration guys, I should say. I don't think I'm going to... Well, I definitely want to bring Wheeler back just because we need that rotation piece. So his arbitration estimate was, 1.8? So let's try... I'd like to try to get him a little under that. So let's try like 6.5 first. No, so he doesn't like that. So let's just try... Because you got to save money wherever you can. So let's try 1.7. No. Can we at least save like $50,000? Is that like something we can do? Yes, okay, so if nothing else, we saved $50,000, so we got that going for us. You see, we have $50 million for extensions, so we're just going to get rid of that. Cervenka, I'll bring this guy back, why not? So right now we're offering $750, his estimate is $750. So let's try, I doubt we can get this guy for $700, but yeah, no. So let's try maybe... I don't want to piss this guy off, so let's just see. Is $750 okay with him? Yeah, okay. So that's that. So no discount there, but that's all good. Justin Grimm, I'm gonna let walk. I don't want to bring him back. Lurie Garcia, Rojas, and Decker. Let me take a look at these free agents. Now I'm trying to think about, I wouldn't be against, I need to take a look at our lineups first, all right? So let's, just clear the lineups and clear the depth charts like we do every offseason, like we will do every offseason. So first baseman, definitely Rowdy Tellez. Rob Refsnyder, I would not be against keeping him at second. Riddle, I would not be against keeping at third next year. Let's see here. So we could use a shortstop. Revere, I wouldn't be against putting in left, I suppose. Can Dwight Smith play? All right, so he can really only play left. So I'd want Revere to play center, I suppose, even though he's not great there. Because I'm definitely going to have... Because Smith's ready. he's fragile, though. Because I'll definitely have Smith playing left field to start next year. Martin, I would not be against keeping to put him in right field. So right now we need a catcher, although I think that'll probably be Reese... So if we take a look here at AAA, there's Sky Bolt. So Sky Bolt's actually developing. Now he's a 3-star potential guy again, which is good. So he'll probably get some major league time here pretty soon. So sort by position here. Where's catcher? Reese McGuire. It looks like he's about ready to go. So I think I'm going to call him up. So I think he's going to be our catcher next year. So McGuire. We can do that. So McGuire can be our catcher. I'd like to sign Maldonado as depth, like a nice backup catcher. Micah Johnson can be our backup second baseman, I guess, right? And left fielder. So Johnson can be backup second baseman and left fielder, unless because Refsnyder. Nah, okay, so Refsnyder can't really play short, so I can't do that. Riddle can. Nah, I don't want to move Riddle to short either. I want to keep him at third. So we can keep Johnson there. I think Amarista maybe. Yeah, so we'll re-sign Amarista. We'll have him play backup third baseman, and we'll have him back up at shortstop. And then we can keep Den Decker to back up at center and right. And we can have Amarista. Actually, no, we can. I'll worry about backup first baseman later. So I want to bring back, if we go back to salary arbitration, I want to bring back Amarista. So we'll see what he wants. Hopefully it's nothing too... Okay, so he only wants a 3-year contract at $2.5 million. I'd like to see if I can bump that down to like maybe 2... Because I wouldn't be against keeping this guy for the next 3 years because he's, a solid utility player, if nothing else. So I'd like to see if I can get this guy for just like $2 million a year for the next 3 years. Yeah, okay, so we're going to get Amarista Mighty Mouse for the next 3 years, hopefully. So Amarista... Iannetta, we're not going to bring back. Jennings, that experiment didn't work, so we're not going to bring him back. We're not going to bring Casimir back. Maldonado is a guy I'd like to bring back, so offer extension. He wants a 4-year contract, so we're not going to do that. We'll give him a 2-year contract, no option at 1.2. I would not be opposed to doing that. Yeah, okay, so we'll get him as a backup catcher for $1.2 million. Martin, yeah, because I'm looking at our minor league system. I don't think there's anyone that's quite ready to take over for Martin and right, because we'll have Smith, we'll have Revere, and we'll have Martin. I wouldn't be against that, because just looking here, yeah, I mean, we have Thomas Jones, but he's still in A-ball, so he's not ready yet. Yeah, so I think we're just going to keep Martin and then worry about it later, although Casey Soltis, it seems like he might get some playing time this year as well. I'd like to keep him in AAA just a little while longer, though. Sky Bolt, he'll get some time, I'd imagine. He's got the power going for him, not much else. Soto, he's not close to ready. So, yeah, so we'll bring back Martin, hopefully. I hope this guy doesn't want too much. Yeah, he only wants... Yeah, that's nothing. Now, I'm not going to sign for 5 years. I'd like to also keep this guy for 2 years, no option, and I'm fine giving him that much. So that's that. So we'll keep him for 2 years through his age 32 season. Then Decker is a guy that I'd like to offer an extension to. Oh, no. So he only wants arbitration. Okay. Oh, wait, what? I'm not in the right mood to continue to negotiate. So he wants to be in the starting lineup. Okay, so that's a little interesting. So I guess we're not going to bring him back. We'll sign Rojas just because he's good depth. So his arbitration eligible estimate is $900,000. So let's try to get him maybe for $850,000. No, okay. So he wants $990,000 now. So let's just try maybe $875,000. Hopefully. Yeah. Okay. So we'll get a nice little, well, a nice discount, but a small discount for Rojas. So we'll get that out of here. We're not going to bring back Garcia. And Dendecker wants to be a starter, so I don't want that to mess with my team morale, so we're going to let Dendecker go, I guess. So that's kind of that's a big blow. So now we can't really have Dendecker there, but we'll just find another backup outfielder and go from there. So that is that. I think that's all the guys I really want to bring back. Oh, Revere I have to give an extension to. Whoa, he wants a lot of money. Yeah, I don't really have that type of money to be thrown around. I don't have $14 million to be thrown around, so we're not bringing Revere back, so scratch that. Just get Revere out of here. Oh, I just got to remove from lineup. Oh, no, not demoted. Whoops. All right, so Revere's not going to be our center fielder, unfortunately. So now we need a center fielder. So I guess Martin can play center, unless maybe we sign a center fielder. Yeah, so now we need a backup outfielder, a center fielder, and a shortstop, it would seem. I mean, I guess we can always plug Amarista at short and then just get like a backup guy. Like maybe, I mean, I wouldn't be against bringing back Garcia just to be a backup. Like he wouldn't be starting this year. So yeah, okay, well, Garcia doesn't want to come back. Who's the other guy? Does Rojas want to come back? Oh, okay. So I gave Rojas an extension. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do because I don't want to bring Tazawa or Ziegler back. Revere we don't have the money for. Phelps I'm not bringing back. I want to bring Martin. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to do. And then for pending minor league free agents, who do I want to bring back? I'll bring back Tyler Higgins, I guess. I'll bring back Victor Piano. No. There we go. Who else do I want to bring back? Not Esch. Most of these guys I'm not going to bring back. I'll bring back Ellington. Maybe... Yeah, there's not a lot of guys. Beckman, I guess I'll bring back. Yeah, and that's that. That's really all. That's the only guys I really want to bring back. So that's that. So now we're just going to simulate up ahead here and see what's going to go on. Hopefully we get most of these guys back. I imagine we will. I mean, they were all fine with the offers. pretty soon the free agency period will start. You see the free agency filings are on November 27th. It's the 22nd right now, so hopefully these guys sign. All right, so we got all the guys back that we wanted. Well, not all the guys. I mean, I would have liked to have gotten Revere back, but unfortunately, that was not in the cards. We don't really have $14 million to be just throwing around. So we didn't get Revere back, but we got all the other guys. Now, international free agents. Let's see maybe if there's anyone here that kind of piques our interest. So Luis Castillo, maybe, although he wants $14 million. That's the bad thing about not having like a big budget. Like we don't really have the money to improve our team on a whim, which I mean it's fine. Like I'm fine with the challenge. And wow, this class is stacked. Like it's way more stacked than normally is. Yeah, there was a lot of options here. I wouldn't be against maybe giving Arredondo a contract. Like he only wants $10 million. So a very pitching heavy class. It seems like. Yes, this class is all pitching, which is good. Now free agent filings. Let's see here. So let's just take a look at the actual free agency list here, because this tends to like not list some guys. So Kershaw is a free agent. Wow. So he wants $35 million. Gio Gonzalez, Brian Dozier, Drupal Cabrera. So this is a really big free agent class. Yu Darvish, Josh Donaldson, Adrian Beltre, Wilson Ramos, Mark Melanson, Andrew Miller, David Robertson, Trevor Rosenthal, DJ LeMahieu. So a very, very stacked free agency class here. It is 2018. So let's just take a look here and see what we're working with. So I know for a fact that we need to try to get to... there we go. I know for a fact that we need to try to get like a center fielder and a shortstop. That would be nice. Now let's just sort by potential. I want to see if there's any like guys here that have potential. Like this Raul Alcantara guy, someone that I might take a look at. He wants $1.1 million. So... yeah, I think I'm going to take a chance on Alcantara just to see if he ever develops into anything more than what he is now. So I'll take a chance on Alcantara. He only wants $1 million, so we'll do that. We'll give Alcantara a major league contract. And I want to see if there's anyone else here that kind of piques my interest that has potential. Zach Lee, maybe another. He never really developed. Yeah, it seems like that's about it for like the young guys anyway. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, so let's go back up here. So, yeah, all players. I'm just trying to look for, like, steals here that I can try to, like a Jose Iglesias would be nice, but I imagine he would want a monster contract, like $8 million, but for, like, how many years, though, would be interesting. Yeah, he wants what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he wants a 7-year deal. Like, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to commit for that long. All right, yeah, so like I did last year, I'm just going to cut out. I'm going to try to find guys that I'd like to bring in here, and then I will come back and explain my decisions, I suppose.